Hello everybody and welcome to race day for the Hungarian Grand Prix. We're about 10 minutes away from lights out. There's no rain, so hopefully it's not going to be like Spa was last week where we got a massive delay. We might actually get some racing done. Right. Everything seems good. Right, oh god, right. I thought I'd try and time it closer to lights out this time, just to give myself a bit more time to set up and everything. So yeah, hope you're all well on this Sunday afternoon. And looking forward to, well, it should be an interesting race anyway, with Charles Leclerc starting on pole position. Oscar Piastri and Lando Norris second and third, heading towards turn one. That's going to be a very, very interesting turn one. Sorry, my voice is betraying me already. No, the Hungarian Grand Prix is a track that I do like. I know it's not very popular with everybody. It's not the best for overtaking, but I think it's a track that I like anyway. It's a track that I like driving around on the F1 games, and I drove around there a lot as a kid. I remember, right, this is really weird. When I was a kid, I used to have this game called Formula 1 2000, and in the Hungaroring there were these runoffs, right, and there were these quite long runoffs, like, and what I used to do is I used to drive up them to see if I could get out of the circuit and go and explore like around the city. That's how dumb I was as I was a kid. I thought there was something beyond the track, and if you got out you could go and explore. And I used to do the same in Monaco as well, because I saw buildings and all that stuff, and I thought, oh, if I can get out one of these escape roads I might be able to go and explore. And that's how stupid I was. Anyway, so yeah, we've got about 8 minutes to lights out. It's 13:52. Race starting at 2 o'clock. Yeah, hope you're looking forward to it. I am as well. I do apologise if you hear some banging and blowing from the sheet at the top of my roof. Every time it's windy, it just flaps about and makes a lot of noise. There's nothing I can really do about it, so if you do hear that, I do apologise. But yeah, not long to go now. Last race before the summer break. We got a 3-week break after this. I don't know why I thought after Spa that was the last race before the break. But, I don't know, but I'll take another week of F1 every time. So what are we going for then? What are we going for? Do we think that Charles Leclerc is going to hold on, or do we think that the McLarens are just going to be too strong? And if so, which McLaren will go on to win? That's the question. So what can Hamilton do from 12th? Looked very dejected after qualifying yesterday, calling himself useless and just saying that he wasn't up to it. I think Lewis tends to be quite harsh on himself when he's done badly, more than most. But he's often done this before, where he's had a difficult Saturday and he said that he's terrible and all of this stuff, and then come Sunday he drives really well, makes up places. So, you know, it'd be interesting to see what Hamilton can do from 12th, what Verstappen can do from 8th as well, although that Red Bull just does not look competitive at all. Hi David, hope you're alright, mate. Hope you're looking forward to this. Yeah, Aston Martin in a great position. Alonso and Stroll locking out that third row. And, you know, obviously this track is a lot more suited to their car than Spa was, where they were dead last and just horrendous. Chance for an Alonso podium. You can't rule it out. He's in 5th place. He was only a 10th off the McLarens in qualifying. It's the loudest motorbike in the world. Goes past. I wouldn't rule it out. It's not impossible. I think it's unlikely with Leclerc and Russell ahead of him, and obviously the two McLarens as well. But you never know, double DNF or a first lap incident, and who knows, Alonso could be right in contention. So it's a hard one to call. I'm still going with Piastri. I just think that McLaren will have too much in terms of race pace, and Leclerc's pole to win conversion rate isn't great, although I know a lot of that is due to the cars that he's driven. But I think it's going to be another one of those where he takes pole but can't hold on and possibly finish second, but will probably finish third. So I'm going to go Piastri for the win. I'm going to go Norris second. I'm going to go Leclerc third. That's going to be my top three. What do you guys reckon? Not too far away from lights out now. As Crofty begins his intro, which I can't hear. It's the Hungarian Grand Prix, the 14th round of the season. We've driven here lots and lots of times, and we're going to drive here some more. This track has 42 corners, 68 to the left and 127 to the right, and you're at full throttle for approximately 521% of the lap. The lap record is a 6 minute 48 seconds by Nigel Mansell, who came back in a Sauber in 2005. And some other stuff as well. Trees. There are some trees around here. We've got some tyres as well. We've got the soft, the medium and the hard, as we always have for every race, unless it rains. The soft tyre is the quickest and the hard tyre is the slowest. Put that in your pipe and smoke it. But yeah, not too far away from lights out now. Going through the grid. Yuki Tsunoda now last. I'm guessing he's starting from the pit lane. Is he starting from the pit lane? Ocon Hulkenberg 7th. Yeah, Tsunoda starting from the pit lane. Don't really blame him. Yeah, he can make changes to the setup. He's not really going to lose a lot anyway because he's starting 16th. So, I don't know. Maybe it might have been worth starting Tsunoda on the hard tyres. Maybe making him go longer. See if he can make up some places that way, I don't know. Or maybe starting him on the soft tyres, seeing if he can, use that to his advantage. I don't really know. But what do I know? I'm just some fat idiot who's never driven an F1 car. Bortoletto, like I said yesterday, exceptional in 7th. Alonso and Stroll, brilliantly in 5th and 6th. Norris and Russell 3rd and 4th, and then Charles Leclerc on pole position with Oscar Piastri alongside. And like I say, it's going to be a very, very fascinating run down into turn 1. As we see, the grandstand sort of, it's mostly orange, but there's a few Ferrari bits and pieces in there. It's very much a mixture of orange and red. The odd lime green in there as well. It might be. Is that a Lando thing? Lime green, or are they supporting somebody else? I don't know. Maybe they're just massive Sauber fans, I don't know. Jumping on the bandwagon. Right. What does it tell us about the weather coming into this race? I don't know why I'm looking at it. Nothing. So it's 33 degrees track temperature, 22 degrees air temperature, 58, is that wind something? I don't know. So let's look at the standings. So Piastri leads by 16 points from Lando Norris, and Max Verstappen is 3rd, 185. George Russell 4th on 157. Leclerc back in 5th on 139. Hamilton 6th on 109. There's a massive gap to Antonelli, with Albon not far behind. Hulkenberg and Ocon rounding out the top 10, and then got the likes. There's a lot of points being shared this year. the fact that Alpine are bottom of the constructors on 20 points is mental. Never known the bottom team to get so many points. I've never known so many teams to be relatively competitive. And obviously McLaren storming away with the Constructors' Championship at the moment. Ferrari 28 points ahead of Mercedes. That's going to be the battle for second. I think Red Bull are going to end up a distant fourth, and then Williams in fifth. Sauber brilliantly in sixth. Racing Bulls holding up decently in seventh. Aston Martin having a fairly poor season, but I think the lower they finish, the more wind tunnel time they get for this year, for next year. So I don't think they're that fussed. And then Haas and Alpine propping up the table as we head towards the formation lap. So David saying Piastri first, Leclerc second, Alonso third. So I think I was a bit late to that message. Sorry about that. So yeah, that'd be interesting. But I mean, it'd be great if Fernando Alonso can put himself on the podium. So it cuts to Max Verstappen. He's had a very, very difficult weekend so far. Managed to get it into 8th place, but I don't really know what he can do beyond that. I mean, it's a question of whether he can even get past the Aston Martins. Can he get past Bortoleto? So I think Hamilton is the only driver, I believe. Oh no, and Gasly as well, to be starting on the hard tyre, which makes sense. You know, they can run Lewis a little bit longer, see if they can get him an overcut, which is quite powerful around here. So, you know, run Lewis a little bit longer into the race, get him an undercut, see if he can overtake some people that way, and then end up in the points. Yeah, as they're coming around to the end of, end of the formation lap now. This is the 40th Formula 1 Hungarian Grand Prix. I know it'd been around for a while. I know it was around in the late 80s. So I remember, was it Piquet's move on Senna, where he sort of power slid around the corner and got past him? I think it was on Senna. It was either him or Mansell. 300,000, I'm sure it's not 300,000 exactly, in attendance for the Hungarian Grand Prix this weekend. As they all file around now to take the start. Charles Leclerc going to have a very, very long wait for everybody else to come round. Yeah, we've still got the back markers. So as Yuki Tsunoda's come around the penultimate corner. He's the last starter. So if he's starting last, is he? Oh yeah, he's starting for the pit lane, isn't he? That makes sense. I was going to say, like, surely he wouldn't line up on the grid last if he was 16th, but yeah, pit lane. Idiot. Someone's got Leclerc earrings. I imagine that must be very, very uncomfortable having that paper coming around your neck all day. Anyway, green flag, and we are ready for the lights to go out. It's lights out and away we go for the Hungarian Grand Prix. Leclerc gets away well. Lando Norris is about to make a move on Oscar Piastri for second. Piastri tries to cover him off and does so. That allows George Russell to have a look round the outside. Alonso as well. George Russell up into third place ahead of Lando Norris. Fernando Alonso challenging Norris for fourth and trying to get the move done as they go round turn 2. Alonso has the inside line. Alonso trying to go around the outside of Russell now, can't quite do it. Has to settle for fourth. A disastrous start for Lando Norris, back to 5th place. Bortoleto up to 6th. He's taken Lance Stroll. Liam Lawson's got past Max Verstappen. Verstappen's down to 9th now as Norris tries to dispatch of Alonso very quickly. He's having a look, can't quite get it done. That's a disastrous start for Lando Norris. I thought he was going to make a move on Piastri for second, and it didn't quite happen, and he's ended up losing 3 places. Very poor. Oh no, 2 places, sorry, down from third. Yeah, very poor. Leclerc leads, has quite a comfortable gap over Piastri. Russell close behind. Alonso 4th, Norris 5th, Bortoleto 6th, Stroll, Lawson. Oh, that's it now. B making a move on Behrman. Behrman's managed to get himself up to 10th. He's got past Isaac Hadjar, who's now 11th. Hamilton's dropped down to 14th. Sainz and Antonelli up to 12th and 13th as we come around the first lap now. Leclerc leads from Piastri, Russell, Alonso, Norris, Bortoleto. I don't know why I'm saying this again, I've literally just said it. So yeah, that was a bit of a fiery start as Piastri aims to hone in on Leclerc. But I think for Lando Norris now, he's going to need Leclerc to hold Piastri up so he can get himself back into contention. Because if Piastri managed to make his way past Leclerc, he could skate off into the distance and leave Lando Norris a long way behind. But yeah, Hamilton's had a difficult start. He's down to 14th. Ocon's up to 15th. Gasly's down to 19th. So both hard runners having difficult first laps, and Tsunoda maintains last place. As Max Verstappen gets past Liam Lawson, maybe the sister team doing him a little favour there, and he makes his way up into 8th place. But Lando Norris still stuck behind Fernando Alonso. They're sort of line astern now as we have these classic Hungarian trains that we seem to have. Leclerc's held a pretty decent gap. He's leading by a second. Russell in third, 2.1 behind Alonso. Oh, here comes Lando Norris trying to get past Fernando Alonso, and he has done it. Up into 4th place. He's nailed the break in. And yeah, Fernando back down to 5th. So I think he's had his fun now. He's managed to keep Alonso at bay. Not quite the Alonso-Hamilton fight that we got in 2021, which pretty much ensured that Ocon would be able to hold on. But Fernando put up a good fight. But yeah, McLaren has skated away from him now. He's nearly pulled a second on him already. Can Norris make his way past George Russell? I think Russell's going to be a much sterner test, I think. Oh, Verstappen dive bombs. Is that Lance Stroll? For 7th place at the chicane. That was a proper like F125 dive bomb into that corner, but he made it stick, and Stroll managed to, managed to get out of the way pretty well. So Verstappen's up to 7th now. He's not messing around. He's got Bortoleto up next in 6th place. But yeah, Aston Martin's race pace, I don't know yet. He's dropped back. I mean, I'm comparing it to McLaren, but yeah, the race pace doesn't seem as great as the quali pace so far. You kind of expect that, really. Lap 4, Bortoleto having a little look, not close enough. But what can Verstappen do now that he is catching up to that little train in front? So Charles Leclerc sets another fastest lap with a 1:22.4. Verstappen trying to look around the outside of Bortoleto, but the Sauber driver is putting up a very, very stern defence. And this is going to go a long way to enhancing this young Brazilian's reputation. So I think he's had an excellent rookie season. Now he's in a decent car and he's showing people what he can do. I think you're really, really seeing the best of Gabriel Bortoleto now. He's putting up a very, very decent fight against Max Verstappen behind him. And he's getting the message from GP. And let's get past these people and show what we can do. Hamilton in 14th, stuck behind Antonelli. Those hard tyres not really having the impact that we thought, and then Antonelli's stuck behind Sainz, who's on the soft tyre. So it's just creating this train, really. It's kind of like in Belgium where no one can really pass anybody. As we look at Bortoleto having another little look at Alonso into turn 1, but not quite close enough. Oh, he's still there. Bortoleto, he's putting himself about. This might give Verstappen a chance. But no, Verstappen's not close enough. As I believe it's endless replay time as we look at all of the the replays from the start. We see Piastri and Norris kind of swerving around to Piastri trying to cover Norris off. Norris ending up losing out because he couldn't go down the inside. Russell just quicker. Alonso then side by side into turn 2 and managing to make it stick, which I'm surprised because obviously Norris would have had the inside line for 3, but then Norris got stuck behind Russell. Alonso took a different line and was able to gather more speed. As we look at the replay on board Alonso now, he's on the outside of Russell going into turn 1 and sort of stuck it around the outside. Piastri held second, Russell was there, and then he ended up alongside Lando Norris going wheel to wheel around turn 2, and obviously they all went to the outside. Alonso stayed to the inside and he was able to get the traction and keep the place. As we look at Nico Hülkenberg, who's now in 20th, he's been noted before, well, moving before the signal. Is that a jump start, or is that or is before the green flag got waved, or I don't know. Alex Albon made up 3 places on that first lap. A few drivers in front of him ran wide. Now, Bortoletto's been noted for moving before the signal as well, so he might get in trouble too. Bortoletto has been unreal. He has indeed, especially these last few races. But he could end up in trouble here if that that noted incident proves to be true. Oh God. So Isaac saying that his hand is screwed because I think gravel came up and hit it, which when you're travelling at high speed and something hits your hand at high speed, I can imagine that's very, very painful. So there's a lot of force in that. So I think there was a driver a few years ago that his hand hit the gravel or hit something, and he ended up in, was it Grosjean? In his finger, like he hit his finger on the gravel or something, and then he had to like lift, he had to drive with one of his fingers off the steering wheel because it was so painful. I think I want to say it was at the Nürburgring. Maybe that was 2020. I don't know. I might be wrong. Lando Norris chasing down George Russell, but he's about a second off at the moment though. He is currently the fastest man on track. That was Charles Leclerc setting the early pace. He's currently got a 2.8 second lead over Oscar Piastri. That's a very, very comfortable gap so far. I thought Piastri would close up on him quite quickly, but it's definitely given McLaren something to think about, because Leclerc's race pace is pretty impressive. The fact that Piastri's into turn 1, Leclerc's not even in the picture. As Alonso's dropped back big time, he's now 5 seconds behind Lando Norris, so that Aston race pace is not quite where we thought it might be. There's no further investigation for Bortoletto for moving before the signal, so maybe there was like a fault in the system if 2 drivers have been, in fact it was both Sauber drivers, wasn't it? Hülkenberg moving before the signal. So maybe there's some kind of fault that Sauber had in the system that resulted in that. I don't know. But at least Bortoletto can, keep up the good race he's been having in a very comfortable P6 so far. He's had Max Verstappen breathing down his neck all race, but he hasn't flustered. Just chilling. As we cut to Max Verstappen now, just trying to make his way past, but like I said, Hungary's so difficult to overtake, Oscar Piastri's been asked about 1 stop. Do you think that might be possible? He says the tyres feel okay for now. It's difficult to know with this many laps to go, which is a pretty fair comment. I think it's only lap 9 of 70. I think you just got to wait and see in these situations. I think last year was a 2-stop, wasn't it? We believe anyway. Right, but still, there's a massive train now from Alonso behind. Well, I think they're all from Alonso down to about Sonoda. Every driver is less than a second than the driver in front of them. Which is crazy. And then Hulkenberg's 13 seconds back in 20th. So I don't know if something happened to him. Or did he pit? I don't know. But Hulkenberg, yeah, down in 20th. As we look at a replay of Isaac Hadjar. Oh, yeah, this is the gravel getting kicked up onto his hands, I'm guessing. Quite a lot there. It's Ollie Behrman, the driver in front of him. But yeah, I can imagine that's quite painful. Five-second time penalty for Hulkenberg moving before the signal. So Bortoleto got investigated as well. He was found with nothing doing, but Hulkenberg has been found guilty of it. So that's interesting. So whether Hulkenberg just moved too early and Bortoleto was sort of on the bubble, maybe. Leclerc's pace has surprised me. Yeah, it surprised me as well. I didn't think he'd be able to hold Piastri at bay this well. Gap still 2.8 seconds, still keeping the gap. Right, I'm just gonna take my laptop off charge because it's on 100% and I'll fucking fry it if I don't. Here we go. Ooh. So Norris is starting to close up on George Russell. He's half a second behind. Could he potentially be able to have a go this lap? Who knows? Leclerc saying, what's going on with these cuts? What cuts? Is that cuts in the tyre or is that? And I know it's not close enough on this occasion. So we're on lap 11 already. Leclerc leads from Piastri by 2.6 seconds. Norris engineers saying we need to get past Russell. Sort of a no shit Sherlock kind of message really, but obviously Lando is, again, it's another situation where Lando's in a quick car and he's struggling to make his way through the order. And yeah, this is another race that could potentially prove costly when you've already got a 16-point deficit. Yeah, it's just, yeah, I think it's just happened too many times this season, and it's cost Lando Norris points. But yeah, we've got Leclerc in the lead, Piastri 2.7 seconds behind in second, Russell 2.6 seconds behind Piastri in third, Norris just behind him, Alonso in fifth, Bortoleto in sixth, Verstappen in seventh, Stroll eighth, Lawson ninth, Behrman rounding out the top 10. Hadjar in 11th, Sainz in 12th on the soft tyre, Antonelli in 13th, Hamilton in 14th on the hard tyre, Ocon 15th, Albon 16th, Gasly 17th, Colapinto 18th, Sonoda 19th, and Hulkenberg quite a way back in 20th, and has a 5-second penalty as well. So everybody's running medium tyres apart from Sainz on the soft, Hamilton on the hard, and Albon on the soft and Gasly on the hard. No one's come in yet for a pit stop. So just watching Lando Norris really struggling to make an impact on George Russell. I think we're seeing the incident for Hulkenberg now. So moving before the signal. So yeah, there's radio. Hulkenberg was saying, I'm not aware of that. I didn't feel anything from my side. But obviously the FIA have sensors for these things, so they would have picked up something. But maybe there's a fault in the sensor. I don't know. It's something that they'll have to have a look at. But yeah, Hulkenberg having a very difficult race. 7 seconds behind Tsunoda in 20th as my laptop fan decides to start up big time. Shut up. Oh, I just realised I haven't had the friggin'... I just realised I haven't had the dashboard on the whole race. Oh no. I haven't had the dashboard on all race. I was supposed to change that. I'm a really good streamer, aren't I? Jesus Christ. There we go. Sorry, I didn't realise that. Shit. I said to myself I was going to change it. And I forgot. Why didn't you notice, chat? Why didn't you notice? I've got it on my screen. I don't know how I didn't notice. That's mental. Right, now it's all good. I forgive you, David, don't worry. I mean, to be fair, I haven't been doing this for long, so... There we go. As I literally said to myself, like 5 minutes before the race, I was like, I better change it, because it's going to start soon. I think maybe I just got so excited with the... It's a good job I checked I was going to mute it. Did I mute it? No, I didn't. I was going to, because the fan started going mental. But no. The fan starts going mental again. The fan starts going mental. Oh, shut up. I need to get a leaf blower and just take all of this stuff out. Apparently that's the best thing for it. Just a lot of dust and shit in there that needs to get rid of. I looked it up. Apparently a leaf blower is the best thing for it. So looking at a train now from Behrman. So Behrman's dropped about 2 seconds behind Lawson. And then we've got a train of like Hadjar, Sainz, Antonelli, Hamilton. Struggling to make any headway at all. I think Hamilton's hope is just that he can go really long into this race, make the pace up in clean air, and then get out in front of these guys, because I mean he's 7/10 off Antonelli. Antonelli, who's quite close behind Carlos Sainz. But it's Ocon and Albon coming for their pit stops now. Ocon goes on to the hard tyre. Albon goes on to the medium tyre. Albon gets out just in front of Esteban Ocon. It's quite close there. So it's Hulkenberg, Albon, Ocon and Colapinto. They've all made pit stops and they are currently in the bottom 5 as we're looking at Lando Norris still struggling to get past George Russell. So Leclerc leads by 3 seconds now. He's managed to eke out that gap a little bit more. Russell 3.5 seconds behind Piastri. So Piastri, as it stands, will gain 6 points on Norris and will extend his gap in the championship to 22. Which will be, relatively healthy lead. Still less than a race win though, so could all change with 1 DNF. Yeah, Leclerc's looking pretty good for his advantage so far. Yeah, it's not just quali pace, he's managing to you know, keep a decent gap out front. Colapinto sets the fastest second sector times in those fresh hard tyres. He's 8 seconds behind Ocon in last place, so he's just got cleanest air you could possibly have, really. And then Norris still, he's saying we still think the wide line in turn 2 is better. And Norris is saying my problem's not turn 2, it's the last 3 corners. Yeah, there's just too many races like this where Lando just seems to struggle. Although his pace is still decent, he's still has the fastest lap of the race. But he's just stuck. So we're now 17 laps into the race. Leclerc by 2.5 seconds over Piastri. So Norris is slightly quicker over a lap. Russell's quicker in the first sector. He's managing to pull away. Norris is getting back at him in the next 2 sectors. But yeah, Russell's just finds a way in that first part of the lap to just pull away. He's now nearly a second clear of Norris. I think that's the biggest gap he's had for a while. This is why Oscar will win the title. Yeah, possibly. I think when push comes to shove, I just think Oscar's got a killer instinct that Lando doesn't have. I think you saw it in Saudi, the start, where he got Verstappen off the line and, you know, gave him a little bit of a squeeze and just said, look, this is my corner, this is my race. I know obviously in Imola the roles were reversed and Piastri got done by Verstappen on that occasion, but I just think if I had Piastri and Norris and they were both in a battle, I'd trust Piastri to get it done quicker. So as he's currently 2.5 seconds behind Leclerc. As Verstappen pits from 9th. Pretty tricky race so far. Struggling to make progress. I think he was 7th actually when he came in, not 9th. Yeah, couldn't make it past Bortoletto. So Verstappen rejoins in 16th place. But then some of the runners in front of him have yet to stop. So I imagine he'll get back to where he was. Norris is saying plan A -5. So that's come in 5 laps earlier than initially planned. So I don't know whether that'll be this lap. Norris is saying his tyres are gone. I'm guessing the way that McLaren are running out. They're going for it. So now Lando Norris comes in for a pit stop then, his first of the race. I think he's going to go on to hard tyre. Piastri's on the radio now, but they haven't subtitled it, so I can't hear what he's saying. So Norris then onto the hard tyre, very quick stop. They seem to think it's Piastri, not Norris that's coming. Or is it? Oh no, it's Piastri that's coming. That's me being an idiot and not watching properly. I thought it was Lando Norris. No, it's Oscar Piastri that's coming. It's a very quick pit stop, and he comes out in front of Gabriele Bortoletto onto the hard tyre. So Piastri rejoins in 5th place. Yeah, I don't know why I thought that was Norris. I think it's because Lando said that his tyres were gone. I just assumed he was coming straight in. So I think surely they can't be trying to run Piastri to the end on those hard tyres, because that's going to be 51 laps at a circuit where degradation is mental. So Leclerc's coming in as well, so I guess they're all pitting now to kind of cover each other off. I think Leclerc can't really risk losing too much time, especially with Piastri in clean air. So Leclerc, bit of a, that doesn't matter, he's changing those tyres now anyway. So Leclerc comes in for his first pit stop. Is he going to go onto the hard tyre as well? Yes, I believe so. The tyres were spinning too quickly for me to tell. So Norris has stayed out, Russell's come in. They should. Have they left Norris out too long? Time will tell. Leclerc had a bit of a lock up there. Not the greatest start. Piastri 1.3 seconds behind. So Piastri's managed to close that up a little bit. It's now showing 1.0. So Norris and Alonso first and second, but they're yet to pit. Leclerc, Piastri third and fourth. There'll be a net first and second. Piastri saying that Leclerc, or his engineer, Leclerc, may struggle with the tyre warm-up. Bortoletto in fifth, who's yet to stop. Russell in sixth, who has stopped. As we watch Nico Hülkenberg on Yuki Tsunoda for 14th place down the outside at turn 1 and getting it done. And yeah, Leclerc locking up straight away. You can see on the front right where it's taken that impact. That is not the way you want to start this stint. I don't know how long they're planning to go, but yeah, to have that kind of tread on the tyre already is not great, as Leclerc makes his way down the inside of Fernando Alonso for second place. The Alonso who's still yet to pit. And the gap now is between Leclerc and Piastri for about a second and a half. George Russell about 5 seconds back from Piastri in 5th place, and Bortoletto behind in 6th, but Bortoletto is yet to stop, as are the drivers behind him, the likes of Stroll and Lawson and Behrman and what have you. This is George Russell getting past Gabriel Bortoletto for 5th place. Nicely done down the inside at turn 1. As we now look at Oscar Piastri, can he get past Fernando Alonso quickly? I was saying a couple of minutes ago that I trust Oscar Piastri to get these moves done quickly, and is he going to do it? He pulls to the inside of Fernando Alonso, sparks flying off the McLaren as he makes his move into 3rd place and net 2nd. As Ferrari get ready to bring Lewis Hamilton in. They're going to put him on another set of hard tyres. If Lewis Hamilton is coming in, that means that his hards have only lasted 22 laps, which is not particularly encouraging. So Antonelli makes his stop, comes out in 18th place. Nineteenth place, make that. Colapinto's got past him. So Antonelli having another weekend where he's just nowhere. Like I said yesterday, really needs the summer break to just recharge. Because, yeah, he's struggling big time. As Verstappen makes his way past Hülkenberg for 13th. I think Hülkenberg had to take to the curb there. So Hamilton currently in 11th behind Hadjar. Gained a couple of places as the likes of Sainz and Antonelli have made their stops. So Norris has been told it's either plan A, look to extend, or plan D, just keep talking to us about the tyres. I thought Norris said he wanted to come in. So they trying to hang him out for a one stop, maybe? Maybe keep him going if they keep him going to about lap 30. But then he's going to be so far behind Piastri and Leclerc when he does come out. And behind Russell as well. Just seems, I think two stop is definitely the way to go. So it's cut into a replay of Nico Hulkenberg. I'm guessing this is where he lost the place to Max Verstappen. Goes down into Verstappen again, just dive bombs like he did with Stroll on the first lap. And Hulkenberg just had to get out of the way and take the escape road. Yeah, Max Verstappen not hanging around. But he's down in 13th place now. And a lot of the drivers in front of him haven't made their stops yet. I imagine he'll probably come out around 6th place, I reckon. Because Bortoletto stayed out. But Verstappen is comfortably less than a pit stop behind him now, I think, as he goes around the outside of Gasly. The 12th place, the Daniel Ricciardo on Lewis Hamilton move of 2014. And he's up now into 12th. But yeah, I imagine he'll probably factor in around 6th when everybody makes their stops. Verstappen saying, guys, this was really terrible. I've pitted in so much traffic. So yeah, Verstappen really having to fight his way through. But to be honest, he's gained quite a bit of time. I think long term, it might work out okay. Look at George Russell, who's kind of getting stuck behind Alonso now. This is not what he would have wanted. He's gaining on the Aston Martin, but not. Oh, is he going for it? Is he going for it? No. Alonso's run wide. It's a chance. As they go through turn 2, Alonso holds firm. George Russell. Oh, God, that was close. That could have ended in a disaster. Alonso broke really early. Russell nearly ran into the back of him. Oh, that was close. That could have ended both their races there and then, but thankfully Russell read it quite quickly. Piastri being told, do you think the one stop would work? Oh, Piastri's asking that, and his engineer's saying that's difficult. Yeah, I think a one stop is very ambitious. I think even the hard tyres not lasting that long. As we look at a replay between Alonso and Russell, so it's from the back of Alonso's car, so we should be able to see what happened here. So Russell goes to make a move. Oh yeah, he does tap the back of Fernando. Yeah, I think Alonso just broke early, whether he was like brake testing him or something, I don't know. As Russell does make the move this time on Fernando Alonso, gets past for 4th place. And I can't imagine Alonso fighting this one back too hard. Russell currently the quickest man on track. He's 6.8 seconds behind Piastri. So yeah, if Norris was to pit now, he'd come out in a very comfortable 4th. Quite a way behind Russell. So I don't know whether maybe McLaren are trying something different, maybe hanging him out for a one stop and then maybe hoping for a safety car. So they can put him on different tyres at the end, maybe. I don't know. But Verstappen now trying to make his way past Lewis Hamilton, his old adversary. Adversary? Oh, I say that word wrong. Old foe from 2021. Hamilton saying he's a bit of a sitting duck behind Behrman and Hadger. Yeah, 4 years ago I definitely didn't see Hamilton and Verstappen fighting for 11th, that's for sure. Times have changed considerably. Didn't see Hamilton in a Ferrari either, to be honest. Yeah, he's got Max Verstappen all over the back of him now. And I imagine into this DRS straight. Verstappen showing decent pace in the stint so far. Can't imagine he'll hang around. Did these two come together in Hungary last year? Or was it the year? Yeah, it must have been last year, where I think Verstappen made a move down the inside of Hamilton and then just went over his car. So I think neither of them will be hoping for a repeat of that. But yeah, Verstappen just not close enough. Hamilton's able to pull away out of the final corner. I'm guessing he's using most of his battery. And then Verstappen just can't close with the DRS. I think that's the problem with just modern F1 nowadays, is that you just can't get close enough. Claire's saying, I can feel what we discussed before the race. We need to discuss those things before doing those. That's a very cryptic message. It's about as cryptic as you can get. I'm going to need to put my plug back in soon. There's a massive train now. It's like Behrman, Hadger, Hamilton, Verstappen, Gasly's closing in. Hulkenberg's not far off. Yeah, I think Verstappen is going to need to find a way through as soon as possible. Otherwise, Bortoleto might actually retain that 6th place. They just can't get close enough to Hamilton to make a move on him. I'd be so glad to see the back of this ground effect era. It's definitely been like the least enjoyable set of regulations, I think. It showed promise in 2022 when Leclerc and Verstappen were fighting early season. But obviously, 2023, absolute bore fest that was. I didn't even watch most of the races that season. And then 2024 was actually decent. Once Red Bull got nerfed and the others came into it, it was actually really good. And then I thought coming into this year, we'd see more of that. You know, we'd see McLaren fighting for wins, we'd see Ferrari, Mercedes fighting for wins. But it just hasn't happened. McLaren have just run away with it, and it's been another very dull season, despite the fact that we've got a close title fight between two teammates. It's still been, pretty boring, to be honest. Verstappen is closer this time. He's a lot closer. Hamilton's got DRS, but Verstappen's got DRS as well. He's closing. Is he close enough? He's having a look. Hadger very slow into turn 1. That might give Hamilton... Oh, Verstappen's pulling out, but the race director's not showing it. Verstappen down the inside. Oh, that I always get... It's always those two, isn't it? Whenever Hamilton and Verstappen come together, you know that something might happen as Verstappen has a little look at him. Oh my god. Hamilton runs wide, Verstappen takes the place. Oh, I don't think Verstappen did anything wrong there. I think he put his nose alongside. It could have been a disaster, but it wasn't. I think Hamilton took evasive action and ended up losing the place. Whether he got a little tap, I don't know. We'll have a look at a replay of this now. This is up into turn 4. Verstappen puts his nose up the inside. I think Hamilton just took evasive action. I don't think there's a lot there that Max did wrong. There's no contact. You could argue that Verstappen wasn't far enough alongside to make a move, but like I said, no contact. Hamilton's now lost a second and a half to Verstappen, who's now got to make his way past Isaac Hadjar. Yeah, it's always tasty between those two, isn't it? Right, just put my plug back in. pit window for the medium tyre. Lap 25 to lap 31. It's lap 31 now. So the likes of, I'm guessing Norris, they're trying a one stop because they've left him out for 31 laps. I think if you can do 31 laps on a medium tyre, then the expectation is you can do 39 laps on a hard. So yeah, I'm guessing they're trying Norris on a one stop, and I think probably just hoping for a safety car to maybe get him onto some fresh rubber near the end. It's worth trying something different. This Verstappen again is it's becoming his signature move of the race at that chicane, making his way past Hadger for 10th position. So Lando Norris finally coming in for his pit stop onto the hard tyre, I suspect. Can't imagine he's going on to mediums, surely not. Yeah, hard tyre, decent enough stop, I think. It's not showing us the times today. It's whether maybe there's a issue. Oh, 1.9. Jeez, I thought it was a decent stop. Sub 2 seconds. Wow. It looked quick. Comes out in 4th, where I thought he would be, just in front of Alonso, so I think they did time that just right. I think if he'd have got stuck behind Alonso, it would have been a disaster. Yeah, he's currently 8 seconds behind George Russell, who is a second and a half behind Piastri, who is... Oh no, Piastri's a second and a half behind Leclerc, Russell's 8.5 seconds behind Piastri, Norris is 8.5 seconds behind Russell. So the gap between Piastri and Norris is about 17 seconds. But can Norris's tyres last all the way? And if they do last all the way, I'm sure he can't. Surely they're going to be dead by the end. But maybe Norris, with that extra freshness in his tyres, he can start to close in on Russell and Piastri, maybe get on the back of them and sort of give them something to think about. Okay, so running order at the moment, Charles Leclerc leads the race from Oscar Piastri in 2nd, George Russell is 3rd, Lando Norris is 4th, Fernando Alonso is 5th, but he's still yet to pit, Bortoletto in 6th, Stroll in 7th, Lawson in 8th, those 4 all yet to stop. Max Verstappen is now in 9th, Isaac Hadjar rounds out the top 10, Lewis Hamilton is 11th, Gasly is 12th, Hulkenberg 13th, Sainz 14th, Albon 15th, Ocon 16th, Colapinto 17th, Antonelli in 18th, Tsunoda in 19th, and Ollie Behrman is now last. I wonder what happened to Behrman then? He was running in the top 10. Has he had to come in again? My lap counter is showing lap... Why is my lap counter still on lap 15? What's wrong with you? Why are you not updating? Oh, don't tell me you're going to crash. Oh, you crashed. See, I didn't even load it. Oh, you've had a mare here, haven't you? Oh, my days. Right, let's try loading it again. Nah, it's having a crash out, mate. It's having a crash out. I did wonder why that was. Right, F1 live timing. See if I can get it somewhere else. Let's try this one. Well, that's a bit of a dodgy website. Let's try. Am I going to get done for having... Oh, I have to pay, aren't I? Fucking... Nothing's going on while I'm doing this, by the way. You're not missing anything. Oh, fucking... Go back. Go back, you fucking... what about this one? Planet F1. I think I tried this one before. This is is this qualifying or is this... Oh no, this is actual race order. Alright, well, we'll stick with this for now. I think this might be the best I can do for now. Hope that's alright. I didn't even realise. See, the thing, because it's to the left of my screen and I'm looking at the race in front of me, I don't really see it. So hopefully that's okay. And you can see, so you can't see the track and what's going on, but hopefully that will keep everything updated. You can see the amount of stops as well. Lando Norris sets the fastest lap of 1:20.7. Let's see what he can do in clear air. Still 8.5 seconds behind Russell though. Just a reminder, by the way, if you're enjoying the stream, be sure to hit the old like button. If you're new around here and you like what you see, then why not get subscribed so you can be notified of future things like this. Do you think you can get to the end on another hard tyre from here? Piastri says if I pit again, then yes. But the hard tyre is definitely not the way... Well, when we're talking about the one stop, doesn't seem like the way to go in this race. I think, like I said earlier, degradation just seems too high. Yeah, I think Leclerc's pretty comfortable. Hasn't really... Oh god, I hit the mic there. Hasn't really been threatened by Piastri. It's been a bit of a... It's typical ground effect era race, really. Just every car has got a comfortable gap to the car behind and no one's really threatening anybody. I'd probably pick the two worst races to do. But Lando Norris has taken a second out of George Russell now. He's gone fastest again. The incident involving Verstappen and Hamilton is under investigation. I don't think there's a lot wrong there, in my personal opinion. But yeah, Norris is taking chunks out of Russell. It's now 7.7. Yeah, Kimi Antonelli down in 15th, having another very difficult race. I was hoping he'd have a good weekend, you know, get into the summer break in a decent, well, you know, off the back of a decent race and just reset, but it doesn't look like that's going to happen. Yuki Tsunoda having another hard race again in 16th. Lewis Hamilton's managed to make his way into the top 10, but I don't think he is yet to stop. He's still on those original hard tyres, so I imagine he'll shuffle back down the order when he does make his stop. I wonder whether like Ferrari are holding out for a safety car maybe, or I don't know, because if Hamilton pits now, obviously, you know, you've got Hülkenberg, Sainz, Albon, he'd probably come out around where Antonelli is, maybe even where Tsunoda is. Think about pit stop, you lose 20 seconds. Lance Stroll comes in for his first pit stop of the day. From 9th. Onto the hard tyre. So I'm guessing he's trying to one stop. Then he's lost a bunch of places as well. He's come out in... It's going to be close with Albon. Oh, that's close. Just about keeps 12th place. So Lance Stroll, I think they're trying to one stop with him, but he's lost a bunch of places. Russell being told that he's still setting really good lap times. Norris not quite eating out. That's something very different. Norris not quite making inroads, the same inroads that he was before. I was going to say eking out, and then that came out wrong, didn't it? As we look at a replay of Lando Norris now, something happened. Oh, getting into the gravel again. Just these little mistakes that just add up. Carlos Sainz has made his way up to 11th. Has he made a stop yet? He's made a stop. So Carlos Sainz making reasonable enough progress. See, Hulkenberg's got the 5-second penalty. Has he he's come into the pits, so has he served it yet? Because there's still an exclamation mark there. Do you have to serve it at your first stop, or can you wait until a later stop to do it? Don't know. Obviously, Hamilton's yet to stop. Bortoleto, Alonso and Lawson are yet to stop. We've got a long way on those medium tyres. I think it's actually to a detriment. I know they'll come out behind guys that have got to stop again. But I really find pit strategy quite fascinating. I know a lot of people think that a race being won and lost in the pit lane is pretty dull. But I find quite fascinating when you've got different drivers on different strategies and you have to kind of see where it all ends up. It's Fernando Alonso, is he finally going to come in? No, he's staying out. Yeah, Alonso's gone a long way, 38 laps on that medium tyre. He's not going to go medium soft, is he? Surely not. Aston Martin are preparing. Is that another medium set? Are they going to go medium soft? So you see a replay of Alonso going over the chicane. The tyres don't look horrendous. The front left, there's a bit of grain in there, but look horrendous. McLaren getting ready for a stop as well by the looks of it. Looks like it's going to be for Lando Norris. Surely not, he's only just come in, hasn't he? Unless they're just waiting there. He's managed to bring the gap down to 4.6. Yeah, I think that's just a few mechanics just waiting by the tyres. Unless it's Piastri coming in. He's managed to get the gap down a little bit now to 1.5 seconds, but still no real action between any of the leaders. But Russell's got he's got a lapped car in front of him now. So Norris will have to contend with that if he wants to make his way past. It's one of the Alpines. I'm not sure which one. So Fernando Alonso finally comes into the pits. What tyre is he going to put on? Find out in a minute, it's too far away to see. 2.9 second stop. Not the best, but still pretty decent enough. And Fernando Alonso comes out in 8th place. Just in front of Hamilton, just behind Verstappen. So Verstappen's managed to make his way past Alonso, but I think he will have to stop again. Still hasn't said what tyre Alonso's on. I'm sure it's the hard tyre. I think McLaren are getting ready again. Is that Charles Leclerc coming in again and kicking up an absolute, locking his tyres up an absolute treat there. Is Piastri coming in too, or is he staying? Oh, he's staying out. So Leclerc on his way, brand new set of hard tyres. Decent stop, brilliant stop for Ferrari, 2 seconds, bang on. So yeah, I imagine Piastri's going to pit within the next couple of laps, I reckon. Unless they're trying to see what he can do in clean air first. So Norris makes his way past the Alpine. Gabriel Bortoleto finally pits from 5th place. Liam Lawson finally pits as well. That brings Max Verstappen up to P5 now, but I believe he has to stop again. Bortoleto into the pits is a little bit slow. It was like a 2.6, wasn't too bad. He comes out in 8th place, just in front of his teammate Nico Hulkenberg, who's battling with Lance Stroll. The 9th place, Stroll gets past him. He's up into 9th, Hulkenberg down into 10th, so Gabriel Bortoleto into 8th position. So a decent stint there for the Sauber. I think because Nick. Oh yeah, I remember that. So Nico Hulkenberg pitted right at the start, didn't he? And then he got his penalty afterwards. So that's why he hasn't served it. So the incident involving Verstappen and Hamilton will be investigated after the race. Really? I really don't think there's much in that. I might be wrong, but. So we cut to Lando Norris chasing Russell for second. So I just realised, so Piastri and Russell pit soon. Lando Norris will be in the lead. He'll be 6.5 seconds ahead of Leclerc. Could it bring Lando Norris into play for this win? We can make that one stop work. That's the advantage of having two drivers at the front. You can split strategy and see where people end up. So yeah, obviously Piastri and Russell have to come in again. Lando Norris is closed right up to Russell now. He's 7/10 of a second behind him. So yeah, that could bring Lando Norris right into contention for this race. Now we were thinking Norris was well out of it. Ooh, that's close for the cell, but Russell and Norris both having to dodge Nico Hulkenberg. Russell saying he's happy to extend, which will not be what Lando Norris wants to hear. The question is that how long can Piastri and Norris go on for? If they do go on for longer, that will obviously Leclerc's now the one on fresh rubber. So Leclerc is the one that will catch up. I think Lewis Hamilton is finally going to come in for his first pit stop of the day. He's now in 7th place, but he's been on that tyre since the start of the race, so I imagine he's probably going to tumble down the order once he does make his stop. Probably come out, I don't know where it would come out. He could come out like 14th, 15th or something. He's 14th, 15th, 16th. Wow. Yeah, Lewis Hamilton rejoins in 16th place. So he's lost a lot of ground there, but he's on a fresh set of medium tyres. So he might be able to make his way through if he can catch up to the others. Might be able to make his way through quite quickly. As Russell now pits from 3rd position. We'll come out in 4th. He's got a massive gap to Verstappen in 5th, who is in a race of his own. Penalty, so Nico Hulkenberg has served his penalty now. He has come into the pits. We're getting Piastri's tyres ready. It's going to be this lap. So Piastri leads by 9 seconds from Norris from Leclerc in 3rd position. Though Piastri will have to stop again. Russell now in 4th, 14 seconds behind as we got a gap. We got a battle here between the Hadjar and one of the Haas cars. I think it's Is it Behrman or is it Ocon? It's Ocon. Ocon trying again round the outside. But Hadjar's like, nah mate, not happening. Covers it off. And remains in 12th place. We've got 25 laps to go. And a very, very fascinating strategy battle on our hands here. Can Leclerc make inroads? It took Norris a while to catch up to Russell. Obviously Leclerc is in the same situation that Norris was in when he pitted. So Leclerc does have time to catch up. Oh, Santinelli getting down the inside of... What was that, Russell? Who is that? Doesn't say. Antonelli's up to... Oh, wait, what? Antonelli's up to 10th. When did that happen? What? When did that happen? Did everyone just pit in front of him and he just... Ah. He was down in 18th a minute ago. Oh, I'm guessing he boxed early and then managed to make his way past the others when they pitted. Okay. Well, Antonelli's race doesn't look so bad now. Didn't realise he was that high up. I thought that was an 18. I thought he was passing somebody for 18th place and he just shot up the timing tower. Okay. Well, if he can get points, it'd be a great comeback for him and a result that he definitely needs. Lando Norris now leading. Piastri has made his pit stop. I think in the Antonelli confusion, I missed that. Oh, I'd be a terrific commentator, wouldn't I? So, oh, that's happened. I didn't even see that. So, nice. So let's do everything we can for blue flags, please. Let's be a bit more proactive with it. Okay, it's basically just try and get these bastards out of the way as quick as you can. So Norris currently has a 7-second gap to Leclerc. So I think for him now it's all about trying to keep that advantage, and even if Leclerc catches him up, as the great Murray Walker used to say, catching is one thing, passing is quite another. Especially around here, where it's very, very tricky and difficult to overtake. It's kind of weird watching the race on mute because I don't have any... I can't wear headphones and connect them because I don't have any to connect. So I can't hear what Crofty and Brundle are saying, so I'm kind of having to make my own sort of try and work out what's happening in my own head. And I could be right, I could be way off. Obviously there's radio messages that aren't subtitled that I'm missing as well, so I'm not getting those. So there might be something that's being said that I've missed. Could this be for Charles Leclerc another pole that he fails to convert into a win? Oh, got a bit twitchy there through the chicane. Just about kept it together there. Look at old Brian, Leclerc's race engineer. Good old Brian. So 22 laps, still 21 laps to go now. Norris leads by 7.5 seconds ahead of Piastri in third. George Russell in fourth. There's a massive gap back to Max Verstappen in fifth. Alonso sixth. Bortoletto having a very solid race in seventh. Lance Stroll having a decent race in eighth. Liam Lawson, impressive again, in ninth. Kimi Antonelli in 10th. Isaac Hadjar just dropping out of the top 10. He lost a place at the start. But Antonelli, I was saying, he's having another dreadful race a few minutes ago, and then suddenly he's 10th, and Behrman saying his car's broken, I've got no grip at all. You have significant rear damage. You have 1% more aero balance than planned. I'm assuming that great is sarcastic. As Max Verstappen boxes again. He's lost out to Alonso, Bortoleto and Stroll. So Verstappen down to 9th now. Is he going to lose a place to Antonelli as well? It's going to be close. Very close. Hopefully it's not going to be like what we had in Austria. Verstappen holds 9th for now. Antonelli is there. Will he try and make a move? Verstappen covers it off into turn 2. And I think he's got this one sealed now. Ben has been told to box to retire the car. I'm guessing that rear issue is just too much to live with. So yeah, Verstappen's going to have to make up ground. Obviously stopped quite early. Did quite a long second stint. And now he's got to go to the end on those hard tyres. Lando Norris seems to be extending the gap a little bit. As this is Lewis Hamilton trying to get past Pierre Gasly for 14th place and managing to do so into turn 1. But yeah, it's been a very, very tricky weekend for Lewis Hamilton. Just really struggling to make gains. And this is Tsunoda and Hülkenberg having a little bit of a duel. So Tsunoda had the inside into turn 1. Hülkenberg got pushed wide. Ended up spinning the rears a little bit. That's Yuki Tsunoda getting out of the way for Leclerc and Piastri. So there's going to be a lot of traffic to go through. We're going to have to look after the front left tyre. So yeah, this is a proper 1-stop versus 2-stop strategy now, as far as I can see it. Piastri is really close to Leclerc. Piastri round the outside of Leclerc. Can he hold it? He can. Oscar Piastri takes 2nd place away from Charles Leclerc. He had his opportunity, he took it. Maybe he managed to gain some time behind Yuki Tsunoda before they lapped him. It was just all of a sudden, it's like, oh shit, he's right behind Leclerc. And Oscar Piastri up to 2nd. He's pulled a 2nd on Leclerc already, so I think Charles Leclerc's chances of winning this race have just faded away. So it's going to be another pole that he is not going to convert, unless of course the two McLarens meet each other and crash. But yeah, I think that chance is gone now. So Piastri's going to have to get on it, see if he can catch Lando before the end of this race. It's one of those, like, I just didn't even notice that Piastri was that close to Leclerc, and it's like, oh shit, he's right there. As Hamilton makes a move past Sainz up into 12th place. So can he catch? He's got a 2nd behind Hadjar and then 4.5 seconds to Antonelli. So it's probably going to be between him and Kimi for that last points position. Yeah, got to be honest, not been the most entertaining race so far. I've picked 2 really, really boring races to do a watch-along for. Oh, shut up. That's just Hamilton getting the move done on the guy he replaced at Ferrari. So look at Alonso and Bortoleto now. See, manager and mentor. Not too far behind each other. Like they were in Austria, really. Both having excellent races. Aston doing really well to stay in the top 5. And Bortoleto, another very, very impressive race from him. I think he's putting himself into Rookie of the Year contention now. It was Hadjar for quite a long time, but yeah, Gabriele Bortoleto putting himself in that mix. Carlos Sainz now pits, ends up in 17th place. Could lose some more ground maybe. Tsunoda taking him. Yeah, another Another poor weekend for Carlos Sainz. Comes out in 18th place. That Williams just not there this weekend. Albon in 15th, struggling. Obviously qualified last yesterday. It's been a tricky weekend. Leclerc saying this is so incredibly frustrating. We've lost all competitiveness. You just have to listen to me. I would have found a different way of managing those issues. Now it's just undrivable. It's a miracle if we finish on the podium. So this is Ferrari just fumbling the bag again, basically. At what point, if you're Charles Leclerc, do you think, I'm not going to win anything here, I need to go somewhere else? I think obviously new regulation cycle next year, see where Ferrari are. But if you're Charles Leclerc, I know he loves Ferrari, I know it's his dream to drive for Ferrari. But I imagine at some point he's got to think, I want to win a championship. And I'm not going to do that here. So I need to go somewhere else. It must be so frustrating when you know that you've got the skill and you know that if you're just left to do your own thing, you can manage it. But then you've got these absolute morons who are just messing everything up. Yeah, it's got to be very frustrating. So they reckon Russell will strike in 2 laps. He's currently 3.5 seconds behind Charles Leclerc, but he's the quickest guy on circuit. Could gain quite quickly. Did I have? I think my top 3 was Piastri, Norris and Russell. So if Russell does finish 3rd, I'll get 1 out of 3. But I have all the drivers that I predicted to be on the podium, just, 1st and 2nd in the wrong order. Yeah, I also had Esteban Ocon to finish 6th, and he's 13th. So I had Hamilton to finish 4th, and he's 12th. If there's a safety car, we would take it for a hard tyre. You'd only lose out to Oscar. Lando saying soft. I'd agree. I think 15 laps on the soft should be doable. Yeah, going on the hard tyre seems a bit counterproductive. I think unless McLaren are thinking, we just want to preserve the 1-2. But I think at this point in the season, you're so far ahead. And, your drivers are the only title contenders. I think at this point, you've got to let them battle. You've got to let them fight it out. Yeah, 15 laps to go, so Norris has a 5-second lead over Oscar Piastri. Charles Leclerc 7 seconds back in 3rd. George Russell 2.6 behind in 4th, and then Fernando Alonso is an absolute world away in 5th. There's a massive gap, 38 seconds. Bortoletto in 6th, Lance Stroll in 7th, Liam Lawson in 8th, Max Verstappen struggling to get past Lawson in 9th, and Antonelli rounds out the top 10. Driver of the day. Who would mind? I don't know. I'd probably go Alonso or Bortoletto, or maybe even Lando. If Lando Norris can make this work, then I'd probably have to go Norris to make the one stop work on a track where it shouldn't. And I thought Norris was out of contention when he dropped down to 4th. So yeah, if Lando can make that work, then I guess he's got to be driver of the day. But I think Alonso's driven really well. I think Bortoletto's driven really well. Stroll has had a good race. Lawson. But yeah, I suppose if Norris holds on, I think it's got to be him. Have I got enough drink left to last me to the rest of the race? I've had most of it now. No, Kimmy, you will not have the drink. You will not have the drink. Gap between Leclerc and Russell 1.8, but there is lapped traffic ahead. I think it's the likes of Hulkenberg and Albon and Gasly and Ocon in front. So yeah, that's the problem, is that you've got these guys battling, but at the same time you've got to try and get past them. And there's quite a lot of drivers that would get rid of blue flags if the opportunity arose. I think it'd be quite interesting. You know, I see they've got that in IndyCar. You know, if you're a lapped guy, if you're a lap driver, there's no obligation to get out of the way. It's up to the front runners to pass you in a safe manner. I guess it would add a little bit of jeopardy if they did get rid of the blue flags, though. I suppose there's always that, I don't know, safety element, I guess, of, or you know, there's that question of why should back markers ruin a front runner's good race or whatever. I think it'd be quite interesting. It adds an extra element of skill anyway. Yeah, Russell now 1.2 seconds behind Leclerc with 12 laps to go. So the incident involving Hulkenberg and Tsunoda is under investigation. That's when Tsunoda went down the inside of Hulkenberg at turn 1 and kind of just nudged him out of the way. But Leclerc and Russell both managed to clear Hulkenberg now. I think Leclerc got a little bit of a buffer, did he? Or no? No, 7/10 of a second. The gap between Norris and Piastri down to 4.3. I'm starting to think as the lap's counting down, I think Norris might have this, you know. So Axl Rose from Guns N' Roses is there. Trying to think of a Guns N' Roses pun, but I can't. To do with F1. I did see Axl Rose trending on Twitter earlier and wondering why. I was thinking, oh god, I hope he hasn't died or something. But no, he's not dead. He's at a racetrack. So Hulkenberg and Tsunoda, no further action for that. It did look like a racing incident, a little bit of a nudge, but and Hulkenberg's past Tsunoda now anyway, so it's not like either driver will gain anything from it or lose anything from it. I mean, Tsunoda's second last on the road. It's another dismal weekend for him. Be interesting to see what... Oh, wow, that was... Albon picked a very interesting place to slow down there, right on the edge of turn 1. As Sainz is trying to make his way past Hulkenberg for 16th place, which he does. As Russell's right on the back of Leclerc now. So this has gone from looking like a comfortable, potentially comfortable victory into Leclerc now suddenly fighting for the podium. And yeah, you've got to wonder how Ferrari fumbled the bag with this one. What was I saying about about Red Bull? Be interesting to see. Obviously, I know a lot of their 2026 work will probably be done now, but it'd be interesting to see what kind of car direction they take now they've got Lauren Meckie as team principal. Whether it'll be something more second driver friendly or whether it'll be something that's just geared towards Max Verstappen. I've got 10 laps to go. Is Russell going to be close enough? I don't think he will be. On this occasion, Albon's been told to swap positions with Sainz. Sainz is on the quicker tyre, gaining quite quickly. Albon complies. All it means is now Sainz is 15th, Albon is 16th. So, yeah, pretty disappointing weekend for Williams. Russell's close now into turn 4. Is he going to risk it? No. I think also at this point you've got to kind of, although Russell will want the podium, like if I make a stupid move here, I'll cost myself 12 points. I mean, considering George Russell's recent run of form hasn't been particularly great, I think he'd definitely take a fourth place. There's a huge train of cars now behind Leclerc and Russell. They've managed to clear most. Oh, Russell's going for it. Not quite close enough. Oh, that could have been interesting. Yeah, Russell had a dive down the inside, but Leclerc always had it covered. It's a decent effort from Russell. Gave Leclerc something to think about. Yeah, there's definitely a fight to try and hold on to third. Now he's 18 seconds. Leclerc is 18 seconds behind Piastri now. Dropped back massively. Like Lando Norris might be able to pit and still come out close to Leclerc. But that's not going to happen now. So Norris, Piastri separated by 2.4 seconds. So Piastri's making those little gains, but it doesn't seem to be enough at this moment in time to trouble Norris. So Russell saying that was moving under braking. I committed and he moved whilst braking. Almost crashed into the back of him. It's clearly not. Oh, here we go. George Russell, teacher's pet. Chiming in again. George, my father shall hear of this, Russell. Oh, he was definitely that kid at school, wasn't he? That was just dobbing everybody in. As George Russell does go for it this time. Leclerc moves under braking again, but Russell just about gets him. Squeezes him. Leclerc definitely did move under braking that time, but Russell has taken third place. Can Leclerc get back, or is he going to try up the inside? Oh, Russell just holds it around the outside into turn 3. Yeah, Leclerc made 2 moves there that are definitely questionable into turn 1, but George Russell kept his car there, got it done. He's up into third place. I can understand why Leclerc's probably desperate to hold on to that podium after everything that's happened in this race. But yeah, let's have another look at that. So George Russell gets the DRS, gaining, moves to the inside of Leclerc. Leclerc comes across again, almost nearly swipes across the front of him. And yeah, I think just desperation really from Charles. But yeah, there's been a little bit of contact. I imagine Russell will be on the right. Yeah, saying that's a penalty. Turned on me during braking. Wouldn't be a weekend for the F1 weekend without George Russell dobbing somebody in. So Norris and Piastri down to 1.5 seconds. This is going to be tasty. It's also a really bad time to need a piss as well. So Norris on the radio. Just the traffic is going to ruin my race. Is he already panicking? He's got Hamilton, Hadger and Antonelli in front. Obviously Piastri's going to have to navigate this as well, but if he can't clear them quickly, Piastri's going to be all over the back of him. We could have a very, very spicy end to this Hungarian Grand Prix. It's been a bit of a damp squib. Not a lot has happened. But Piastri closing on Norris now. We could have a exciting end to this Grand Prix. Russell saying, oh, light spots of rain. Where would that be? Haven't got any indication as where. I can't see anything. Norris 1.1 behind Piastri. Still hasn't really gained on those lapped runners. Oscar's got the bit between his teeth now. Really honing in. I hope McLaren let them fight. I hope they don't play it safe. They're miles ahead in the Constructors' Championship. Even if they both crash into each other and take each other out, they're going to have a monstrous lead still. Charles Leclerc currently leading driver of the day. Well, he's driven well, surprising, but Bortoletto, joint leading on 14%, Alonso on 13%. I thought Norris would have been further up, but shows what I know. But yeah, Alonso and Bortoletto definitely driven brilliantly. Max Verstappen, got a bit slidey there. Maybe in the turbulent air of the RB in front. As we look at Hulkenberg getting past Gasly for Pete. That was close. Definitely like BTCC door banging. Get out of the way. Right, so Hamilton is out of the way. They've both McLarens have managed to lap Hamilton. Piastri's got the gap down to 0.6 of a second. Any chance of points now for Hamilton has evaporated, unless Antonelli and Hadjar lose a lot of time getting lapped by the McLarens. Oh god, I really need a wee. Why is it's always on the exciting bits? That's why I need a piss. So the gap would go down to 9 points. So a bit of a boost for Norris into the summer break if he can hold on. Verstappen only getting 2 points. Russell closes into 15 points of Verstappen. Third place for George Russell in the championship could be very much on. It's very much on in this race. He's got a 5-second gap to Leclerc now. 21 seconds behind Piastri. 5 laps to go. Norris leads by half a second from Oscar Piastri. Into the DRS zone. Hadjar gets out the way. This could bring Hamilton back into contention to get past him. And that's given Antonelli a bit of breathing space until he has to get out of the way himself. So yeah, we got that tension, kind of like there was in Spa in the sprint race, where like they're all close to each other. Can a move be made? It's one of those tests for Piastri now. Is he going to play it safe? Think about the championship, or is he going to risk it all and go for a move? Because if he takes himself out and Norris wins, then Norris will be heading the championship. If he stays as it is, it's a 9-point lead still. But if he can be the hero and get it done, then it'll be a 23-point lead. Yeah, this is a test of Oscar Piastri now. What's he going to do? How's he going to approach it? 4 laps to go. I think again it's just that ground effect, turbulent air, not being able to get close enough. That might just see Lando Norris through. So the gap's consistently, it's like half a second, but Piastri's not able to make any inroads on top of that. Now I imagine that kind of tyre advantage is, although Piastri's still on fresher rubber, I imagine that advantage has kind of seeped away now. Bortoletto has 17% of the vote. He's going to get driver of the day as it stands. Good for him. Good for him. Done really well lately. Yeah, Piastri's just all Lando's got in his mirrors. It's just Oscar. Just this papaya shining back at him. Is Piastri going to be close enough? I think Lando's pulled away quite well out of these last couple of corners, although Piastri a little bit twitchy. Gasly's got a 10-second penalty for causing a collision. Is that the one with Hulkenberg, was it? I can't remember now. Piastri having a look. Ooh. Ambitious. Ambitious. But I think Lando always had that covered. 3 laps to go, half a second the gap yet again, pretty much the same as it was this time last lap. But yeah, Norris just seems to be able to do enough out of the final couple of corners to keep Piastri at bay. Also, I'm guessing saving up all the battery for that part of the lap. I'm glad that McLaren are letting them battle it out. Yeah, that's all it is now. But that's what we want. We want to fight for the win. You know, that saved this race. You know, it's been very, very dull up until now. But now, because of these split strategies, we've now got a fight for the win between the two championship contenders. What's Piastri's exit like out of the final corner? It's alright. I still don't think it's close. 6/10 as they go across the line. Gaining, 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 gaining. Is it enough? Is Piastri going to send it? He's going to go for it. Oh! Is that his last chance? Locked up his front tyres. Knew he had to bail out that one. That was very close. You know, like in Austria, when Piastri tried that move into turn 5, was it? And very nearly took Lando out. It was very, very similar to that. The gap is at 7/10, so this is the penultimate lap now. Going into the pit straight, or going into turn 1 next lap. That's going to be the last opportunity, I think, for Oscar. But fair play to him, he's had a go. Let's have a replay of this, look. So Oscar just goes for it, realises it's not going to happen, has to bail out of it. Locks his front tyres in the process. God, that could have been disaster. Piastri saying, remember how we go racing. Same reminder. I'm guessing that's just don't try anything stupid. As we now come on to the last lap of this Grand Prix. Can Oscar Piastri get past Lando Norris? He's not going to be close enough. 5-second time penalty for Charles Leclerc for driving erratically. It's not going to affect his race. He's 25 seconds ahead of Alonso. Lando Norris has managed to hold firm at Oscar Piastri into turn 2. He's gone a bit wide. A great time for Now TV to buffer. But Lando Norris has held firm. I imagine he's going to hold on now, unless he makes a mistake. But yeah, Norris under severe pressure now from his teammate. Oscar 4/10 behind, not letting up at all. But it's just so hard to overtake round here. I think Lando's got this one covered. Yeah, it's been a fantastic battle between the McLarens at the end there. It's pretty much saved this race because it was really dull. But the fact that McLaren have tried 2 different strategies, it's brought them together, and fair play to Lando Norris, who's been able to make that one stop work. As they come around the final couple of corners for the final time. And it's going to be Lando Norris, who takes his 5th win of the season. Lando Norris wins the Hungarian Grand Prix. Oscar Piastri comes home for 2nd. Fantastic battle from the McLarens at the end there. But it's Lando who comes out on top today. He made that one stop work, did a brilliant job. I thought he was out of it. When he came out of the first stint in 4th, I thought he was done. But he made it work, hung it out there. George Russell comes home for 3rd. The teacher's pet gets his prize. I mean, to be fair, Leclerc was moving around a lot under braking. Leclerc will come home for 4th. I'll just see if I can hear the team radios quickly, and then I will be back. Yeah, just hearing the Norris and Piastri team radio is pretty standard. Piastri didn't say anything back. I wonder if he's maybe a little bit disappointed that he couldn't quite get it done. But he's still leading the championship going into the summer break. But for Lando Norris, that's 3 wins in his last 5 races. And a brilliant strategy call from the McLaren team to make it happen. So Lando Norris wins from Oscar Piastri in 2nd. George Russell comes home for 3rd. Charles Leclerc finishes 4th, a very distant 4th in the end. It just fell away completely at the end. Fernando Alonso did a fantastic job to finish 5th for Aston Martin. Gabriel Bortoleto, excellent 6th. He is really, really kicking on now, isn't he? Lance Stroll in 7th place. A great race from him. Solid points for the Aston Martin team. Liam Lawson doing very, very well again. Another top 10 finish in 8th. Max Verstappen disappointing in 9th. And Kimi Antonelli rounding out the top 10. A much, much needed performance from Kimi Antonelli. Really, really good second stint to bring that car home for 10th place. Hadjar in 11th. Lewis Hamilton in 12th. No points for him. No ground gained in that race. A very difficult weekend for the Ferrari. Nico Hülkenberg 13th, Carlos Sainz 14th, Albon 15th, Williams struggling a lot. Esteban Ocon in 16th, Yuki Tsunoda, another disappointing race in 17th, Colapinto and Gasly in the Alpines, another team struggling, 18th and 19th, and Ollie Behrman retired 22 laps from the end. So there we have it. Lando Norris has won this Grand Prix. His 5th win of the season, closes the gap up to 9 points on Oscar Piastri. This championship hasn't updated yet. George Russell puts himself close to Max Verstappen in his championship battle, and Charles Leclerc stays in the top 5 after a difficult race, difficult last part of the race for him. I'm going to sign off here. Thank you so much for watching the stream. I really hope that you enjoyed it. If you did enjoy it, please consider leaving a like on there for me. If you're watching this on a replay and you like what you see, I fucked up my own outro. Let me start that again. Thank you for watching. Please make sure you leave a like on there if you enjoyed it. If you're new around here and you like what you see, why not get subscribed so you can see more of this stuff. If you're watching on a replay, comment below and any thoughts and suggestions that you may have. Thanks once again. Take care of yourselves, and I will see you next time. Goodbye.